and welcome to another episode of Humans of Pharma. I'm your host Pape from Pharma State Academy. Today we are joined by someone who has saved pharma quality across some of India's most respected organizations. Milind Sir is a seasoned quality assurance leader with deep experience across formulations, API, validation, and corporate quality. He has led quality functions at Reliance Life Sciences, IPCA Laboratories, and now serves as the Chief Quality Officer and Executive Committee member at RPG Life Sciences, where he continues to drive quality excellence and digital transformation in quality management systems. Known for his practical approach, mentorship mindset, and passion for modernizing quality systems, he brings a wealth of real world insights built over 2 decades. Milind sir, welcome to Humans of Pharma. It's an honor to have you with us
Thank
today.
you and good evening to all.
Good evening, sir. Sir, it would be very helpful if you could just give a brief introduction on your own. I have given the audience a brief about yourself.
My name is 𝐿𝐭𝐲𝐿𝐬 𝐵𝐵. I am in pharma industry for last 35 plus years, specifically in the quality domain. I started my career with Emcure Pharma in Pune as a chemist, and currently I am working as a Chief Quality Officer in RPG Life Sciences, where I am heading the entire quality division globally. And prior to this, I have worked with the companies like Cipla, Microlabs, Emcure, Reliance Life Sciences, IPCA, and now this is my seventh organization where I'm leading the entire quality domain, actually.
That's really nice. You have come a long way. Your journey, it's like very inspiring. You have worked in many reputed pharma companies.
Yeah.
So, sir, to start our podcast, let's start at the very beginning. Like, how did you enter? How did your entry into the pharma industry happen?
So that's a good question.
Yes.
Uh, Actually, when I was studying in college, I was doing my bachelor in chemistry. I was working with one of the medical distributor in Pune for their sales division. So it was a part-time job. So I used to meet two doctors, I used to meet the chemist to collect the orders and sale of their products. And then I decided to quit that job. The owner of the company, who was owner of Emcure Pharmaceutical also, he offered me job into the quality control as a chemist.
Okay.
And that's why I came into the pharma industry. And being a chemistry graduate, I decided to pursue my journey with the quality control. And it was a very thrilling experience when I joined the company because a lot of things are happening, raw material testing, packing material testing, in process, finish testing, and you are using the things which you have only heard in the books, textbook. You are handling everything practically. You are handling UV spectrophotometer, you are handling HPLC, which you have seen during your graduation, you are handling that. So a lot of learnings was there. And then Emcure was a very small company that time. It was hardly 2-3 crore, like small company. And it has given me the opportunity to work in the ADL also. So method development was also a part of the jobs for some of the products or molecule for initial days. And a lot of learning used to happen with the companies like when you have a very small company, small organization, lot of interaction with the top management, bottom management, and everything was kind of a thrilling experience. So when a newcomer like me coming from a college and listening all what is going into the industry, working with the very good people in the industry, because that time Emcure was a very small company doing only contract manufacturing. So we used to meet many international companies, people also. And that has created the interest, and over the period, then slowly the responsibility increases. The company also got very good promotions and continued with the job. And at some point of time, got transferred from QC to QA. And now continuing with the quality assurance for almost last 20 plus years, or maybe 25 plus years.
Okay. Thank you very much for taking us through your journey. And what do you think, during that time, if you did not get any offer from the Emcure owner, would you be still continuing your pharma journey in QA, QC, or in marketing?
And maybe continued with marketing. And another option was there for me was I was having my own drama company in Pune. I used
Okay.
to work in the drama when I used to study. So that was another option I was having in my mind. If it doesn't work, I will go back to my basics. I will start working in the dramas, Marathi drama, or some of the times that some contest or something. I will start doing something creative also.
Okay. So have you
Yeah.
ever?
Definitely, I would have worked in the marketing also if child is not got into the QC or QA.
Okay. So have you ever starred in any Marathi drama?
Yeah, many.
Uh, oh,
During
nice.
my college, there's many.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, thank you for taking us through your journey. It's really nice to know. And you having other options also. And I believe that if you were not in pharma, you would be doing more dramas now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, let me go to my next question. Since you have already mentioned that you have worked with Emcure and Cipla, and what experience during those early shape your fundamentals in quality?
Okay, so when I started working with Emcure, Emcure was basically a CMO company or contract manufacturing company for all multinational companies.
Yeah.
So all quality system which we used to get, it is coming directly from the multinational companies. And most of the things are at par with any other multinational like Glaxo, Bayer, Johnson and Johnson. We used to work for all these multinational companies. And one thing good was Emcure has never worked with any Indian company. They
Okay.
always work for the multinational companies for getting the contract manufacturing. So all quality establishment happen at par with what is going on in the international market. Because guideline used to come from Glaxo UK or Bayer Germany or maybe Novartis Basel, and same guideline we used to adopt at Emcure. So
Okay.
like knowledge wise, we were at par with any other industry at that time of point. When I joined Cipla, it was a totally different company. There was no hierarchy, no designation. It's a flat management system, and that has given a different angle because everybody, when working at the same position and you have to get done work from your subordinates, you have to have different approach. Sometimes you need to stand along with them for doing analysis also. So
Okay.
that's a different story because Cipla that time, when I talked 22 years back, Cipla was like a no management. Everybody has a flat management. Today, who is your boss can become your subordinate tomorrow. That kind of culture was there. Of course,
Okay.
they have well-established quality management system. Now, being a Indian company, but having a US FDA, MHRA, TGA approval, having a well-established quality system, so a lot of learnings with respect to the regulated market during the period with the Cipla.
So you have experienced both the sides, working with international and working with the Indian part also, mainly to Indian people, customers. So it must have been really a nice experience to work to get the view of both the side. And also you have handled quality in both API and formulations, right? Like very different worlds, yet deeply connect. It's deeply connected. Like, how do
So,
you see the difference between the two, API and both API and formulations? And on the other hand, what common traits tie them together?
okay. So if you talk about the API formulation, I have also handled the biopharmaceutical also in the Reliance. So for quality point of view, there is no difference. Only GMP level is different for the different because when you work on the API, GMP is only applicable to the powder processing area most of the time. In intermediate or chemical reaction area, very less GMP or maybe 10 to 20% of GMP. But systems like deviation, change control, investigation is applicable everywhere same. So there is no difference between the quality management system, whether it is a API, whether it is a formulation. or whether it is a biopharmaceutical. Biopharmaceutical is more on the sterile, so you have to be more careful and more training is required there to handle the environment, product, and process. Whereas pharma is a GMP, and now we have the revised schedule M in the place. All the guidelines are there. So there is absolutely no difference between the API pharma or biopharma. What is required is basic quality management system is same. Only the applicability is somewhere differs 10 to 20%, not more than that.
Okay, that's actually I learned something new.
Yeah.
And as you know, today's generation is extremely curious about digital transformation in India, in pharma. From your experience, how critical has lab software become in ensuring reliable and compliant operations?
Okay. So when you talk about digitalization, this is entirely a new ballgame I learned during my tenure completely. Because till 2012, when the first data integrity has come out in the Indian market, nobody was aware what is the data integrity and how to bridge the gap between the actually what is happened, and people were not even aware of reviewing the audit trails, how things can go bad, and slowly but surely industry has evolved along with that. So if you're talking about the digitalization prioritization, in my opinion, all industry should start initially with the gap assessment where data integration can happen, and we need to bridge that gap. Like in case of quality control, you need to start with the limbs. In case of QA, we can start with the QMS first, and in production, we can start with the having a HMIs on the machines who can create the data, and same data can be transcripted to the batch manufacturing record, so that there could not be any data integrity issue observed during any regulator or the customer visits also. And that is what is more important, to have a digitalization, because that makes our life more easy. Initially, it looks like it's a painful, but once it is implemented thoroughly with qualification and validation, life becomes more easy.
It's difficult at the initial phase to learn it and implement it, right?
So if talk about the implementation, so I have done the implementation of limbs, I have done the trackwise implementation, I have done system like QMS in even our current organization. Even I am using SAP by doing some internal program for making scheduler for stability, preventive and calibration of the equipment. So a lot of things are happening. Even now I am working on some AI-based application wherein my Word document or PDF document can directly get converted into the worksheets with the gaps, and so I'm working on that also currently with my IT team. And a lot of applications we have done internally also, and even in IPCA, I have implemented the complete paperless solution for the QC laboratory
Okay.
along with the IT.
Okay. I think what would be your opinion? These digital systems, they is it a good to have, or these tools should must have?
It is not only good to have, it is some kind of thing. If you are going for the regulator market, some basics are must to have, like LIMS, quality management system, APQR, validation life cycle management, or some kind of schedulers, wherein not only it will reduce your human work, human interference, but it will give you confidence that your all systems are online. I can give you one example. When I joined this company, we implemented QMS. The normal cycle of my QMS document, which was around 50 to 60 days, once it was digitally implemented, the turnaround time has come down. Maximum initiation to closing of document is 28 days.
Okay.
So it's actually gain of 32 days. Systems are in place. Everything is traceable. So during the audit, you do not have any kind of pressure or issue of reviewing deviation, change control, kappa, because everything is in the system. Only what is need is the regulator base. If you have any queries or anything, then you can review it. Otherwise, there is absolutely no review during the audits. Because everything in system, everything is properly done. There is no something that missing of signature or missing of date, which is happening in the manual days, or corrections, handwriting is not legible. So that kind of things are not happening in the digital documentation. And it is actually added advantage for any industry. See, we are dealing with the human life. What is more important is the human life. And when you are dealing with such a noble cause, our documentation is a key actually. And if you have clear document which can be read by any layman, that gives actually good impression to the regulators also, because everything is in system. They can go through system, they can check all the audit trail, how it has happened, how the process has moved, whether it is meeting with the SOP or not, and that gives actually confidence to the auditor also.
Like I have noticed, many labs still continue to rely heavily on manual documentation. So, from your perspective, since you have implemented all this analytical software in your organization and you are using it, what risk do you think they will face if they delay adopting digital lab systems?
See, when you have manual system, there can be a many questions comes up from the regulator due to one thing is handwriting is not clear. Secondly, it is a person-based system, so your signature and date, then you have always the regulator will have in his mind that whether this document is generated for me right now, whether somebody has done some kind of backdating into it, whether it was generated or flowed or gone as per the process flow, one after one, or maybe somebody has done backdating because he is not available or something. And then what is most important is if they have wanted to check everything, they have to go to the your register of payroll, or they wanted to do your attendance check whether the person was available on that day or not. Here you do not have this kind of question because everything is a e-signature. You have auto signature. So whether I was there in the plant or not, but if I have done the online entry and I have approved it from even my home, it is recorded.
Yeah.
So your dead time stamp is more important in the digital documentation. And that gives actually traceability for every action taken into that particular document. So that is the best advantage, that you do not have to do any kind of manipulation. You do not have to remember anything. Everything is transcribed on the document and it will be seen during the review.
Okay. So, for example, like if I was working in QA or QC department, what do you think are the biggest advantage of using LIMS, QMS software, and or automated data system would be for me?
So my opinion that automated things in QC, if you have implemented full-fledged LIMS with the instrument connectivity, like paperless concept. So person does not have to look at the anything. Just he has to do the analysis by taking his digital worksheet, whether it is in tab or the desktop or the laptop, and he need to collect the data. He doesn't have to enter anything. Like when your laptop or your tab is connected with the balance and you are doing the weighing and you have done the weighing, you just do the enter, data will be automatically transcribed to the digital record. You do not have to enter any data. And the beauty of this software is at every stage you can give the limit.
Okay.
Like I have to weigh 50 milligram, I can put the weight limit of 45 milligram to 55 milligram. If my weight lies between these two upper and lower limit, and you enter it, automatically it will show that you have taken the correct weight. If you try to use higher weight or lower weight, it will give you the red flag. So system tells you that your weight is not in the upper and lower limit. Similarly, you don't have to do calculation. Once you have everything in the digital, you don't have to do the calculation. System will tell you whether material is pass or fail. Similarly, in QA, when this LIMS integrated with QMS, he doesn't have to do any kind of thing in the APQR. All data comes from the LIMS. So he has to just collaborate the data, do the analytics, and his APQR can be ready within 2 or 3 days, which currently taking almost 15 to 20 days. Because he has to gather the data, anything can be missed out of that, then they have to look from the all angles whether I have missed something. Which in this case, my QMS is a digitalized. I have LIMS, I have APQR model, So my deviation kappa related with that product will automatically come from QMS, and the analytical data will come from the APQR, and BMR data will come from the your other data centers. And then
Okay.
you collaborate everything, your APQR will be ready within 3 days. And that gives actually peace of mind to the many people.
I think that's a very practical explanation, and it's going to be very easy for even young professionals who are just going to start their career in QA and QC. And also, you have been deeply involved in the digitalization of QMS and automation of quality process. In your opinion, which process should every pharma company automate first?
You cannot say first you have to go with the LIMS or first you have to go with the QMS. I think what is important is the gap analysis. When you decided to go with the digitalization, do the gap analysis. Have the risk assessment done for your entire process, and then you decide which process has a maximum risk. Like QC, if you have everything on the paperless laboratory concept, your 80 to 85% risk associated with the analysis is not there. Or in some of the cases, it is up to 95%.
Mhm.
So that gives me more benefit when I will implement the LIMS, because my 95% process is a risk free. Similarly, when we are working in the production equipment, if my all equipments are having HMI with admin control and everything is situated, and if backup has taken on something, another server with the what you call as a data acquisition system or something, which gives me complete traceability for my every batch manufactured on that equipment. And that helps me during the investigation also, whether the process parameter has been completely followed or not, whether the data generated by equipment or instrument have any gap, because it is cannot be altered afterward, because these are the all data acquisition systems are just they are pulling the data in its original format, which cannot be editable. Similarly, in QA, if you had a quality management system implemented, the job of QA with respect to handling of deviation, change control, investigation, kappa becomes more easy, because everything is all records are available digitally. On a single click, you can search any record. Even you record of 6 year back or 5 year back, you can search on the single click with all the details. What kind of change control you have taken, who has approved it, how it was implemented, and what actions you have taken up post implementation, how you have verified it. So everything is documented into that. So in my opinion, it cannot be a single system. There can be a multiple system, like even for engineering, you can do with the preventive maintenance and calibration schedule. So their job becomes easy. Because currently most of the companies are having manual system. If you do that in the SAP, their job becomes more easy.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty insightful. And also with your 20 plus years of experience, you have seen quality evolve across decades. What do you think is the biggest change you have witnessed in India's pharma quality culture?
This can be a point of debate also, because there are a lot of things involved actually. When I
Okay.
joined industry, people used to talk about the percentage purity. Now we are talking about the impurity level. That too, we are talking about the elemental analysis. We are talking about nitrosamine impurities, which nowhere in the industry that time. So
Okay.
system has evolved in such a big way that you cannot point out only one thing has changed. Earlier, quality was there, but quality was tested on the finished product. In process, quality was there, but there was something which is happening now in the development itself, was not used to happen that time. Like we have method development, method validation, elemental impurities in API, then clinical studies, bio studies. There are many things are happening. Earlier, we used to get product approval very easily, even for the compo. Even two different APIs are mixed, and then you have made something fixed dose combination. But nowadays, if you go to the regulator, they are also asking about the bioavailability of that product. So, a lot of things have changed. Time has evolved for the betterment of human life. The quality system is also growing. It is becoming more and more mature. Even awareness about the quality system has become very matured at various level of organization. So earlier there was a QA QC department who used to test the product. Now they are running the entire show most of the time. Because a lot of audits are happening, a lot of regulators are coming to the industry, they are reviewing your systems. So the actually QA and QC has taken the center seat, you can say, in the pharma industry. So along with the production and marketing, quality is also very important to get the business.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it really shows how far the industry has come.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very insightful, and it's really good to know that. I think we can do more podcasts on specifically on these topics, like what has changed in the quality culture. Okay,
So
then.
quality culture is something which comes from the top to bottom
Yeah.
normally. And it has to come from the top to bottom only. If your management is pro quality or compliance, then it becomes very easy for quality head to implement the things because everybody is aligned in a single direction, quality and compliance, along with the productivity. And always quality, if you are maintaining your compliances, if you are maintaining your quality systems, your productivity increases, not by bypassing. This is very clear that your quality productivity always increases if you follow the compliances and the system and process designed by the company. Like if we talk about a single example, I would like to state here, if we have a preventive maintenance schedule for the equipment every month, and if company follows that, there is no breakdown, no surprises during the manufacturing, your production will go smoothly. If your processes are well validated, whether it's a product manufacturing process or cleaning process, if they are well validated, then your future batches can go very smoothly. Nobody will ask question if you have proper cleaning validation in place about the contamination levels. If you have well designed stability protocols and stability study carried out timely, then you can have a better prospect about your product when it was kept on the market or in the shelf. And this will also help to increase your shelf life over the period. Because you have the well-established stability study protocol, you have well-established studies done, stability study on the commercial batches and R&D batches. So system and process requires very, what you call as a religiously follows. So people need to follow the system and process religiously. This will increase the productivity. This will help organization to grow.
And thank you for taking us through how quality culture has changed in these decades. And also, I believe that audits are always a pressure point for every quality team. And what's your golden rule for facing audits confidently?
Facing for any audit, whether it is a schedule or non-schedule, golden rule is only one thing: all-time readiness. That's all. Nothing else. You need to be all-time readiness. You have to follow your system and process on daily basis. No need to do any kind of something which as a audit preparation, if everything is followed on daily basis, what is required as audit preparation is only facility lift up if required. If you have preventive maintenance, preventive schedule of the facility, which normally happens in sterile product, where every 6 months we have the preventive schedule for the facility. Facility is actually closed for 6 months, 15 days, and they do the entire facility lift up. In case of HVAC qualification, tunnel qualification, autoclave qualification, everything is done in that 15 days. And then after doing the complete media fill, they start the facility. So similarly, in other aspect also, we need to follow some kind of thing which is all-time readiness. So every day, suppose I wanted to do something once in a 15 days, I have to follow that system once in a 15 days. I cannot postpone it to 30 days. If I have to do something daily, I have to do it daily.
Yeah.
So what happens now? People normally does all the thing which you inspect on daily basis.
Mhm.
If you have good IPK person or good supervisor, and if he is reviewing everything on daily basis, people will follow it because they know that somebody is reviewing it on daily basis. If nobody is there as a reviewer for the system, then people tend to skip the doing the things sometime and they will file the deviation for no reason.
Mhm.
So for any audit, what is most important is a all-time readiness culture creation.
Yeah, I think people tend to
And second
procrastinate.
most important thing is a prepare your team as SMEs with the proper backup. Suppose you have for handling of deviation, SOP plus documentation, you have one person. Instead of that, keep 2% because you don't know on the audit day what will happen. Suppose your lead SME doesn't turn out on the audit day because of some reason, family emergency, medical emergency. In that case, you must have backup ready with you. And third and most important thing is leader must know everything what is happening. So if nobody is there as a leader, I can sit with the inspector and I should able to handle the inspection. That is the third backup.
Hmm.
But be prepared, keep all time readiness target, and success will be yours always.
Yeah. And do not procrastinate anything.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And also, you have been part of the pharma world for more than 30 years now. That you have come a long way. And when you look back, how does this long journey feel? And what still excites or motivates you every single day?
Okay. So for me now it is a 35 plus years in the pharma industry, a long journey. And what motivates me more is the new technologies are coming into the pharma world. Now I'm looking into the new technologies, new things which I can do. I believe that I always work on the planning with next 5 years. So whether it is a facility, whether it is a technology, or whether it is any kind of things which I wanted to implement. So I look that whether this thing can sustainable for next 5 years. And a lot of learnings are happening right now. Every day new things are coming. So new learnings, new guidelines, and that keeps me motivated to work in the pharma industry after 35 plus years. First of all, I love to break the monotony job.
Okay.
I like challenges. So if something new comes to me, I'm most what you called as a enthusiastic person to grab that knowledge and do something. Like I told you, I'm working with some company on the AI-based things. I'm working with my own internal team that how we can use SAP for betterment. So there are a lot of things happening in the circle. And then at the same time, other aspect of quality, the new challenges, new products, its review, that keeps me enthusiastic and still going ahead with the working in the quality.
And also, since you have very experience in QA/QC, if you were to come across, suppose if you come across any organization or industry that does not implement this analytical software, so what would you suggest? Just one single word.
So what I would like to do is I will tell them what are the advantage
Okay.
and how their life becomes easy, how it helps to increase the productivity and profit. Because that is profit is not a bad word at all. Because unless an income organization doesn't make the profit, nobody will grow in the organization. So I would like to explain them ki how this digitalization process or system and process, QMS documentation, how it helps to increase the productivity, how it will increase the profit, how customer satisfaction will be improved by implementing all these things, and they will have the repeated customers also.
Before we wrap up, one last final question. For students and young professionals who want to start their career in a QA/QC journey today, what advice would you give to them?
The best advice is if you want to join quality, don't forget your basics. If somebody is working in the quality control, then his basic chemistry knowledge has to be alive throughout his career. Whether he is handling GC, HPLC, but the basic chemistry knowledge must be with him. And when you are joining the quality assurance, and if you are done your initial working in manufacturing or in other department like a quality control, please do not forget your basics and try to learn out maximum things, because your knowledge will only help you to grow in quality domain.
Yeah.
Without knowledge, sustainability in quality domain is very thin. So what is required is knowledge on guidelines, knowledge on pharmacopoeia, knowledge on your basic chemistry, knowledge on investigation process, knowledge on manufacturing or R&D process. That is most important to work in a quality assurance or quality control. And if somebody want to join, it's a ocean. You can do whatever you wanted to do in the quality domain, because sky is the limit. For the improvement of quality, you can go up to any height.
Yeah.
And that is most important, but only that can be done with the knowledge. Without knowledge, you will not able to do that.
Exactly. Knowledge is the power, right?
Yeah.
And thank you. This was such a truly genuine guidance for the next generation, those who want to start their career in QA and QC. And thank you so much for sharing your experience and wisdom with us today. I know quality is one of the most demanding and responsible areas in pharma, and conversation like this bring to light the human dedication behind it. For example, you. And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this episode of Humans of Pharma. If you found this valuable, do share it with someone who's building their career in QA and QC department. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep strengthening the human side of pharma. Thank you, Mrs. Chai. It was an honor to have you on our platform, the Humans of Pharma.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and all the
Yes,
best.
sir.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.